Okay, so it's Sean Bastow here with Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat. Today I'm here at Kieran Farrell's The People's Gym down in Haywood. Kieran, how are you doing?
Good mate, good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thanks for talking to us today. So I wanted to come down today just to talk to you a little bit about your upcoming show. I know we've got the lads at either side of you. I want to discuss what's going on with these lads, you know, the types of fights they're going to be going into on the 22nd. If you could talk us through who they are, what weights are at and the records, that'd be fantastic.
Well, to start off, we've got Moran from Waterford, Ireland. He's 1-0. He made his debut 27th of May. He's back over here training for the 22nd September. He's fighting in Middleton Arena. We've had a few pullouts. It's hard to match him up. So we're still to be confirmed at the minute, but we will find someone we're looking for one more durable fighter, just to give him get another 4 rounds under his belt really. And if we can get him another 4 rounds under his belt, he fought Chris Twinny Jenkinson on his debut, moved up 2 weights to fighting, because that's what Dylan does. He just does stuff like that, and he took care of the business. He won every round, and he you know, tell you that himself. You know, he really enjoyed his debut and won fighting away, Dylan.
Yeah, that was a tough test with Chris Jenkinson. You know, for my first fight, competitive 4 rounds, with no walk in the park. But we had the training done, so it didn't really make a difference who we were going to get. You know, I was ready for anybody from May the 27th, and it all just went to plan. We had a plan and we executed it. Me and Kieran, you know, listened to him, done what I was told, and we got the victory.
So how did you get into boxing?
Boxing since I'm a child, since I'm about 4 or 5, through my dad. All my dad's family box, so all I know is the fight game. You know, that's all I've ever done. So yeah, pro boxing was always the dream at the end from amateur game, and I moved over here to Kieran about 6 months ago, and here I am heading into my second pro fight.
And was there any fighters that inspired you to become a fighter?
I used to love Mike Tyson, just the way he fights, you know what I mean, just pure aggression, no messing around, no looking and waiting, he just goes in to get the job done. So yeah, Mike Tyson would have been my idol.
Funny actually, because me and Dylan, we met each other years ago when I first turned pro. So I was 17 when I was turning pro, and Dylan come over. How old were you then?
I was only about 13 or 14. I come to England just sparring, just visiting gyms, and I ended up doing a training session with this fella, you know what I mean, and pictures of it at home and blah blah blah. And I went home after that and went my own way. I ended up kickboxing. Kieran continued his professional career, and then I heard a few years down the line Kieran was managing and promoting, so I got in contact with him, and here we are. So it's a cool story. So
you know, obviously you're travelling over from Ireland. What's it like travelling back and forth? Do you do it quite a lot, or do you come over here for, you know, certain lengths of time to train and go back home?
Yeah, just come over here 8 or 9 weeks before each fight, you know what I mean? Spend my training camp over here, I've no distractions. I'm living in the gym, upstairs. It's like a Rocky story, you know what I mean? It's the type of sport, it's all or nothing, isn't it? If I know if I was living at home, I wouldn't be giving 100%. I'd be out every evening, and God knows what you'd be up to, you know.
I had the same thing as well when I was fighting. I went over to John Breen's in Belfast, and to be honest, you go over there and you sort of can't take the piss. You know, it's like Dylan, he'd feel bad if he was getting a Mars bar from the shop, because you can't be doing that, you know what I mean? Someone's got their alarm going off there. Lee, come on, look.
It's not me.
Come on, Lee. Come on, sort yourself out, Lee.
It is that.
This is what time he normally wakes up. Yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of similarities to Dylan's style. Is one what I love, just to fucking come and have a fight, you know.
Just get in and have it, isn't it?
That's it.
So you previously was a kickboxer, weren't you, as well? Amateur kickboxing, I believe. How's the transition been from kickboxing to boxing?
Yeah, I never really liked kicking anyway, to tell you the truth. I only ended up kickboxing through a few bad decisions in amateur boxing. You know, and someone approached me one day, I started kickboxing, I travelled the world in it, but at the end of the day, I always wanted to box, you know. I never really had an interest in kicking around like that, so the transition was fine. It was nothing new, you know.
You're looking forward to your next fight?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, I can't wait, can't come quick enough.
Yeah, second fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do you sort of see yourself going now? You're going into your second fight on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Once you've got that and done and dusted and out of the way, where do you see yourself going in the next 6 months?
I just hope to stay busy, you know, that's in Kieran's hands, and no better man to keep me busy, you know. I want to fight as often as possible, and I don't understand doing a tough training camp and getting in peak physical condition to go home and lounge around for 8 to 9 weeks after each fight and come back and have to do it again. You know, when you're on top, stay on top. So as busy as I can be, that would be the best way for me for the next 6 months.
Great. Kieran, do you want to introduce Connor next to you there?
Yes, so we've got Connor Lynch from Middleton, from Langley, Middleton, and this kid, he's got a big future. He's only 19 years old. Again, another kid who can fight. He's been coming in and out of the gym for a couple of years now, and I've known him since he was a young lad at Middle of the Select with his uncle Martin Lynch, who has the Middle of the Select Amateur Boxing Club, and Connor's fighting on the Middleton Arena show, his pro debut in his hometown. Can't wait. He's got his tickets are flying out and that, and he's ready. He's just gonna come back training again Monday. He's got another good 7 hard week. He's already been doing all the pre-season training and start sparring and that now, and looking forward to his debut. He's fighting Dale Harrismith from Stockport, so he's not got an easy fight either. You know, Dale's a tough lad. Dale's going to come. You know, he's not got a flashy record or anything like that, but he's going to come and he's going to test young Connor. But Connor will pass with flying colours, I think.
So same question to you really, Connor, that I was just speaking to Dylan about. Obviously it's going to be your professional debut in your hometown, which is even better. Again, how did you get into boxing? Was that through like your family?
Yeah, through my dad and my uncle really. Started going to the gym when I was about 6 years old. So my uncle had his own boxing gym. Obviously just been in the gym since really.
So boxing's kind of your life now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how excited are you to be fighting on your professional debut in your hometown?
I'm excited, can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
He's not one for a lot of words, Connor, but believe me, I'm telling you now,
He
can fight, and that's all he needs. All anyone needs to do is exciting. He throws a lot of punches, he's fast. He's called Connor Lightning Lynch. We have a little nickname, White Lightning, but that's that.
So, going into the 22nd of September, you feel you're 100% ready, you're ready to go. I bet you're eager to get in the ring now, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the ring for quite a while now, so can't wait to get in there, show everyone what I'm made of.
And again, like when you was a kid, you must have watched a lot of boxing, you know, going to the boxing clubs yourself. Any particular fighter that inspired you to become a fighter?
Ricky Hatton. Just power punches.
You couldn't think of a better fighter, really. You obviously, he was well loved in Manchester.
I think like, I know for four of us here, that Ricky Hatton was a massive guy, because, you know, a massive inspiration to us all. Coming up in Manchester, I don't know about Dylan.
Oh no, he's big in Ireland too, trust me.
That's it. So, you know, it's you know, a lot of people modelled themselves off him. You know, it's that Manchester Mexican style. It's good. You know, it's exciting for the fans, and that's what a lot of the lads have.
Okay, so if you want to move on to George.
Brennan, no better person than ex-Ricky Hatton, mate. I said I've had a few comments on YouTube saying Kieran Farrell thinks he's got the next Ricky Hatton about George. Now you have these haters and stuff like that, but leave him to it. You know what I mean? Look, George is he's only just turned 20 himself. He's had 4 pro fights. He won 3 of them. He drew 1. Now he didn't draw that fight. He won the fight against a dirty fighter, and let's change the tune now. He's moving on to bigger and better things. He's got a fight September the 9th, and then a fight at the end of the month. Then he's got an hard fight September the 9th, and he's one look. George, he's not bothered about going in there with a guy who's fought for a British title before. He's fought for a Commonwealth title. He's won 11, lost 3. He's got a winning record. George is going as a away fighter. He's going, and we're going to go for the win. And that's all we're there for. He's fighting Lewis Norman, and he's a good kid. George is going in there for a win. Sparring Paul Butler today. Sparred him Monday, and our training's going perfect. His weights, everything's going good. George will tell you himself about it.
So we'll move on to yourself, George, and we'll just talk about a little bit about your career. Obviously, Kieran's touched on it a little bit here. So you're currently, obviously, 3-0 with 1 draw. Looking back on that draw now and what Kieran was just referring to there, do you think that's given you some valuable experience going into your next fight?
Yeah, obviously it was a different style, awkward style to fight against. Like Kieran said, it was dirty. Wasn't really much boxing involved in the fight, but you know, I'll only learn from things like that. And I think today when I was sparring Butler, you know, I've proved there that I have learned from it, and I can deal with like the aggression and everything what come off that fight. So I do feel like I've learned from it.
And for the people that don't already know about you or know of you, again, the same question applies really to yourself and like the other lads. How did you get into boxing?
Well, Ricky Hatton was about to fight Floyd Mayweather, and nagged my dad time and time so we could watch the fight. And then after I watched that fight, it was just, Dad, can we go boxing? Can we go boxing? And then just story from there really. Been at it 11 years now.
Is it safe to say Ricky Hatton was your inspiration sort of going into it?
Yeah.
And what's it like training here under Kieran and with the lads?
It's great. I've learned so much in such a short period of time. Can't thank Kieran enough for what he's done for me. You know, I've had 4 fights in a year, and I've got an exciting few months ahead of me. Hopefully, you know, it brings lots of wins and heads towards a title maybe in the future.
Yeah, I think the division that you're in, which is the bantamweight division, is quite a good division in the UK, and obviously I can imagine you want to see yourself getting up there within the next couple of years. If you was to sort of look at fighters that are up at the top of that division now, who would you want to be kind of mixing it up with in the next couple of years?
So you got like Jamie McDonald, Paul Butler, you got Stuart Hall, you got big names in England itself at the bantamweight division, but you know, I'm sparring Butler at the moment, and I reckon, you know, in a few years' time, I'll be more than ready for when the challenge comes about.
Okay, brilliant. And we'll just move on to Lee. Kieran, if you want to introduce Lee.
Combat Lee Clayton. Little Lee needs no introduction. He's a legend, and he'll tell you himself. What you bro?
Is there any sort of hidden little things we should be knowing about?
Oh, Lee's mad. He's mad, Lee.
So, moving on to yourself then, Lee. You know, speaking to Kieran before we went on camera, he talked to me about the fact that you've actually had no amateur experience going into the professional game.
Can we just stop there? Shout out to Sophie Edwards. That's what it is about. It's just Lee's a lovable guy. He's just a bit emotional. He's getting married, so he's getting a bit of stick off all the boys.
Great.
See, I'm the old one.
Yeah, no, so Lee, like I was saying, you know, you've had no amateur experience, so what's it been like coming into the gym with guys that have got amateur experience and training with them?
Well, I mean, like, you know, it can't be it. I mean, yeah, I only ever had 9 amateur fights. I didn't walk into a boxing gym till I was 20. I didn't have my first fight till I was 21. So, obviously, I've not been in the game that long. Like, I'm 27 now. He's been doing it much longer than me. But coming into the gym, I've learned so much from it. And then, not my last fight, the fight before, coming off a loss, came out, worked, put everything into it. Looked at changing my style with Kieran and Nate, his brother, and came back into a tough fight. Brett Fido, I've got a point to win and feel like I've boxed the best I've ever boxed before.
And I'd say, just touching on the point of that, Nathan, my brother, has done a lot of work with him. Nathan was a southpaw himself, and he's got Lee, and it was easy to hit in the past, and he'd be fighting like aggressive when he didn't need to be fighting aggressive, a lot of hooks and stuff like that. You know, it was exciting, but we don't want him to see him lose. So if it's like Floyd Mayweather, for instance, Lee is the next Floyd Mayweather, and that's all everyone needs to know. No, all seriousness, though, he's changed his style a lot, and he's becoming hard to hit. It's a bit of a bar of soap in there now. You know, he's not no easy pushover what people think Lee Clayton is. You know what I mean? And he's proved that by taking on Brett Fido, who we've got a lot of respect for. He might have a record. He won 7, lost about X amount, but them 7 victories he's had, he's knocked 6 of them out. That's more fights than Lee's had, and he's won by more knockouts than Lee's had fights. So it was a tough test, and you know, we could see physically he was a strong little guy, and Lee dealt with it, and they scored it 39-38.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been. It should have been 40-37. I give him a share of a round, but I'm not going to touch on that. The last show we had, there was some terrible decisions. You know, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
So talk to us about your upcoming show then, Kieran. Obviously you've got 2, I believe.
3.
3? Even better.
I've got 3 back-to-back shows. Got September, Middleton Arena. Now start with that. We'll see what Dylan on, Connor on. The bills change. The bills change all the time. Karen Priestley hates it when she do the posters for me, because I'll take people off or put people on, and you know, it's just boxing, you know, and opportunities come about. Look and wait, like Danny Craven's been taken off the show. He's got the tickets. I think he's got a big opportunity, which we'll announce this week if it comes about. So it's a massive show for him. He proved on his last fight, putting him in a fight with a guy who won 12 and lost one in his third fight. What other manager would do that? He's not, because everyone wants to overprotect the fighters, and that's one thing what I'm not about. You know, I will not overprotect my fighters. I want to put them in fights. I want 50-50 fights, and if they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. Unless they want to be Floyd Mayweather and think that they're going to be some sort of 10-time multi-millionaire legend and stuff like that, then they want to go elsewhere. Because I put my fighters in fights, and he didn't have to fight Chris Jenkins on his debut, but he did. You know, the kid's had 60 odd fights. He might have a losing record, but he won last week by knockout. Did he win by knockout? He knocked a kid out who'd won 10 and lost 1. That's how dangerous Chris Jenkinson is. And Dylan got in there and just had it with him. And Conor, again, fighting Dale Harris-Smith now. Dale's a lad he's probably had more amateur fights than Conor. So, you know, he's been about the scene himself, and George has only fought lads with winning records. He's fought one lad, Almar Falda, who, if you know the boxing scene, he's actually a former junior ABA champion, Almar Falda. So I do my own work on the fighters, and Almar Falda's a former junior ABA champion, and George dealt with him like a mature, like a 26-year-old fighter, and he was 19 at the time, and he got the win every round. Lee fought a kid, the one who knocked Lee out. Look, he got knocked out. It is what it is. We've changed it. He's adapted. If Lee boxed him again in the future, Lee'd beat him on points. He wouldn't knock him out. He'd beat him on points, and it'd be a close fight. But Lee'd beat him. Well, that same kid who's got a losing record has also had what he had. He had about 200 amateur fights, and he boxed in World Championships as an amateur, didn't he? He boxed Luke Campbell. This guy has got a losing record. People think, oh yeah, look, you get beat off him, you crap, but you're not. He's a good kid, you know what I mean? And all of the lads put him in proper fights. Danny Craven, I said to him, look, you can fight 10 journeymen and pretend to be somebody like half the other lads in Manchester and Liverpool. I'm not bothered. All over, they're just all over the UK. These fighters pretending to be somebody. See, there's a good kid from London called Adam Barker. He went and fought Tyler Goodjohn. Tyler Goodjohn is a 17 fights, a former English champion. Adam Barker's had 4 fights. He didn't need to fight Tyler Goodjohn, but he said, I want to be in proper fights. He got beat that night by a point, 2 points, whatever it was. Now, it could have gone either way, but Barker will come on strong from that, and he'll be a contender in the future. Whereas these kids who want to have 10 fights, win 10 fights just to say that they won them, and they've learned nothing. They've learned now from the fights. I'm what's the word now? I'm an hypocrite, because I had 10 fights, but I didn't manage myself. I was an 18-year-old kid who were put in these fights and like, oh, get whoever's available. I don't do that. I think I've put thought into behind who my lads are going to fight. I don't want to put whoever's available, because I think that's crap. You know, there's no thought going behind it. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just get you to tell no one and we'll put you in a fight and see if you can fight. I'd rather not waste my time if they can't fight. I don't want to find out that George can't fight after 10 fights. George has gone and fought 3 lads with winning records, 1-2, lost 1, 1-2, lost 2, stuff like that. Good records, and you know, he's shown to me that he can fight. He's only 20 himself, and again with Conor can go and fight. Conor can go and fight 10 journeymen. You're not going to learn a lot from that. It's alright getting probably maybe like 4 or 5 journeymen to start off, but then he needs to sort of fight someone with at least a 50-50 record to see if he can fight or not, and then from there we'll progress him as he goes on. Dylan, I'm not going to reveal all my plans and stuff like that, but Dylan will be kept busy this year, and next year will be a massive year for him. St Patrick's Day will be a massive day for Dylan Moran, and all his support who come over from Ireland to support him each time. Can't thank him enough. they made a right sound last time. It was 8 of them there, wasn't it? Was it 8 of them?
Yeah, the move off the place.
Yeah, and it was mint. And what was you in the first fight, Law?
Yeah, it was the
first fight on, and it was loud. And my missus was working the door that night on the front, taking the money in for the tickets and that. And she said 2 people ran in and they went, "Wow, is that the boxing? If they got microphones or something?" Like, you know, it was
That's
that
the
loud.
Irish, isn't it?
It was that loud. They were singing, it was good, and then it made the night. And then we say Danny Craven's fight. Wow, what a guy! You know, we did. I thought shit. A bit off more than contributor. Kids won 12, lost 1. I seen the size of him when he got on the scales and his head was like that. I'm like, wow, he's a big guy. This guy, he's ripped, he's massive, and I'm like, Danny, like, you know, I might have fucked up here, and I thought, shit, I might have fucked up, but then no, I believed in Danny. I thought, look, Danny Craven's really good. All the lads will say he's lightning, he's fast, he can box, he's really good, and I hope this big opportunity comes about for him because he deserves it. And he's no lad who deserves it as much as Danny when he grafts, he puts that work in, he trains 3 times a day up in the Punjab, ABC, over in Warrington. Can't thank them enough for housing Danny and sticking by Danny and stuff like that. And you know, again, with all my lads in my promotions, or like I've got my going to the shows, sorry I've gone off on one again. We've got a show September the 22nd, September the 29th for bowlers. George Brennan's doing 6 rounds. Osman Haslam, Wisby boxing. We've got Dan Williams having his first homecoming fight really, he boxed 1 on the road. We've got Gary Armrod, 3-0, he's coming back, it's his first fight back for a couple of years. Reece McMillan, he's out again. He's going to be, there's a good few fighters. I've not confirmed them all yet. We've got board meetings coming up and stuff like that. Once them are out of the way, everything's good, thumbs up, and let's get the show on the road. And then I'm going back over to Belfast, the Devonish, on a Friday the 6th of October. We've got 2 of my lads fighting each other in a crossroads fight. Jared Ealer, who's been there and done it, versus Sean McGlinch, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, who's only had 2 fights, he's having his 3rd fight, he's stepping up, he's going to clash, he's going to go for it. May the best man win, they're both up for it, let's go. And then we've got all the other lads on there. We've got Big Paddy McCrory, he's had a bit of a bad news the other day. He was on a Frampton undercard, got pulled, but we're dealing with it, and we're going to get some big opportunities for other cards in Ireland and wherever in the future. So it's all going good. The Kieran Farrell promotions, and I manage lads, the lads who I manage, I don't promote lads, I manage them to get them to the bigger stage, to take them to Eddie Earn and to Frank Warren, to Cyclone Promotions for instance, and to all these big places who have TV deals. So my lads get noticed, and I'm doing it purely, obviously I put food on my own table, and purely for the lads to put titles over Red. When Danny put the title, when Darryl Sharp won the area title and he won 10 rounds to 0, that was like, wow, this is better than when I won an area title. That was mint. Darryl Sharp, who's done it the hard way and boxed everyone on the road, and then he's gone in there and he's gone, yes, let's take him on. And he's gone in there, and one thing what I can say is all my boys, all of them, they've got balls, and that's what I want, you know what I mean? I need lads like them, because we're all on the same wavelength, we all think the same, and that's all I need. And I don't want a kid to come to me and say, I want to do this and that. I'm like, yes, let's do it. I don't want a kid who's going to talk it, I want a kid who's going to do it. All the lads to do it.
Brilliant, thanks very much for that, Kieran. I'm just going to put you on the spot just to sort of finish off a couple of things. Massive fights coming up in the wider boxing world, international boxing world. I'm going to put you on the spot, and I want to try and get predictions out of you. So we've got one that's a massive fight for boxing, and one that's a bit of a show. So Dylan, I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to talk about Canelo Triple G. Give us a prediction for that fight.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Prediction, I think Canelo outboxes Triple G. You know, Triple G is a killer and he's really good, but Canelo is the main man. I think, you know, his boxing brain is something else. So I see Canelo winning on points with that one. And
then obviously there's quite a big show going on the 26th of August that no matter what, whether you love it or you hate it, people are talking about it. People probably will watch it no matter whether they love it.
Of course.
Mayweather McGregor. So who do you think is going to take that one?
Yeah, look, I'm Irish, backing Conor McGregor the whole way, but you can't be ignorant to the fact that of who he's fighting. You know, Floyd Mayweather is a masterclass. He's a genius, probably the best boxer we'll ever live to see. You know, and in my opinion, McGregor has a puncher's chance, you know. But like I said, I'd be rooting for him, and I'd love to see him win it. But my Mayweather is my prediction.
Can't now move on to yourself. What do you think, Canelo, Triple G?
I'm saying Canelo.
And what about Mayweather, McGregor?
Mayweather, obviously.
Kieran, give us your predictions on Canelo, Triple G first of all.
I'm not gonna change my mind. I think Canelo will outbox him, but you know, I like to see him get hit on the chin as well. You know what I mean? I know I can take a punch, but you know, Golovkin's he's got some freakish power, so you know it depends how he reacts to that as well. You know, so I have to think Canelo points.
Obviously, we've got the Mayweather-McGregor one, and as a guy like yourself who's a boxer who's turned now a promoter and a manager as well, you've got a guy like obviously McGregor transitioning from UFC to boxing, and he's going in for his professional debut, and he's going to earn probably plus 20 million, you know, and you've got guys here today that are working hard, really grafting to try and get themselves up to, you know, potentially a level that they might never even sort of get to in the future. What does that make you feel like?
Well, Dylan got 20 million on his debut, so you know. No, what's it called? Look, it is what it is. It's good for boxing. I don't care what anyone says. You know what I mean? Look at everyone's looking at boxing. It's in a boxing ring. You know what I mean? Everyone's looking at it. Everyone is going to watch it. Everyone's going to buy it. Everyone's going to watch it. And look, if there's more MMA guys who want to get involved in professional boxing, then it's good for pro boxing, isn't it? So it's all good. A prediction, like, look, Mayweather's probably going to, well, I'm not going to say probably 100% going to outbox him, but again, anyone who gets in the ring has got a puncher's chance. Conor McGregor is a fit guy, you know. I you know, I'm not going to say I'll be rooting for either because I'll be honest, yeah, I was talking about this the other day, right? So his kid's dying in Africa, and then these two clowns are on stage saying what nice watch they've got and stuff like that. What? I'm seeing an advert what's saying to me, you can pay fucking £3 a month and they'll feed fucking a family. And then they've got millions of pounds of watches and that's alright, we're supporting that. And I think, nah, fuck that. I know I'm a bit of a psychopath, but fuck that, you know what I mean? Give the Africans the watch, you know what I mean? Like, you should do what you know what I mean? You know, sell the watch, give it and fucking, it's like Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao has housed thousands of people in his Filipino land, you know what I mean? Why can't they do that? And it's alright giving people a fucking bag of food at the end of the thing, you know, for giving a bag of food to the homeless. What? I can start giving bags of food out here, you know what I mean? That's what I start doing, you know what I mean? You know, I'm talking about they've got millions of pounds and you think that's correct and I ain't going to tune in to watch this. No, I'm not going to be tuning in. I won't tune in. I'll put it out there now. I won't be tuning in for that reason. Fuck that. Relax. Fuck them. I'll fight them both. Me and I will fight both. I couldn't give a fuck. I'd beat them both up. And I'd take the watch off them and sell it.
So I'll move on then to George. George again, Canelo, Triple G predictions.
Although Canelo's, you know, got the speed and everything, and Triple G's got the power, I couldn't call a prediction on it. You know, I think it'll be a great fight, probably fight of the year contender.
And then obviously Kieran just gave us his passionate thoughts about the Mayweather-McGregor fight. What do you think?
If Conor lands his backhand, then he could hurt Mayweather. He's been hurt before. You know, he's not been down, but he has been hurt. Mosley hurt him twice in the second round. So if Conor can hit him, I'm sure he is old. He's getting old. He's 40. If Conor hits him, then you know it might be an upset story. But I do think McGregor will win. Mayweather will win. Sorry.
So do you think they should sell the watch or not?
Yeah.
And finally, Lee, again, predictions for Triple G and Canelo.
Yeah, I think Canelo will beat Triple G on points. I think he'll outbox him. I think the Mayweather fight's the best thing that ever happened to him. He's changed since then, 100%. I can just see him outboxing. If he does catch him, like I said, Canelo, GGG's got a puncher's chance, but I think Canelo will beat him.
And then obviously the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
I mean, people are slagging it off, aren't they, for saying, oh, it's stupid, it should never happen, but it makes sense because it makes them money. So, obviously, that's the reason they're fighting, but I can't say anything other than a Mayweather win. Completely schooling him, to be honest.
Well, so we're just going to wrap it up. Guys, obviously I want to see who the sponsors are. You want to give them a shout out, any support that you've had getting yourselves to where you are today, please do it. Go ahead.
Well, I want to start off for my promotions. can't find. There's been loads of people who sponsor the Toblerones. I couldn't name them all because I've had that many. They sponsor the Toblerones, sponsor the corner post, but there's no one who can't thank more. But Jed, he's helped me out, and you know, he's the reason why my promotions is going as good as it is. So I can't thank Jed Mason enough. Appreciate everything he's done for me and continuing to do for me.
Lads, any particular sponsors, Dylan?
Thanks to CMP, looking after all my supplements, and Gaines Kitchen and Mineral, Andy Foster, starting all my food each week, making things easy.
Connor?
Thanks to Fellow Boxing for the gloves and the man wraps that they sent me, and thanks to Joe's Barber's Lounge.
And anyone who wants to get in touch and sponsor a good prospect, Connor's your man, and he's from Middle and he's a local kid. We've got to thank everyone who's helped us out, you know what I mean? They all know who they are. I don't need to start naming them, but everyone knows who they are. And, you know, again, all the lads, these have got to do their sponsors, but, you know, these have got big lists of sponsors, you know what I mean? These two are people getting sponsors, you know what I mean? But regarding the lads, they need the sponsorship, you know, they need it, and you know, people we ask for it and people give it them, and it's more than appreciated.
Brilliant. Guys?
Yeah, I'll thank Bespoke Contract Services, they've helped me out since day one. Brennan's upholstery services are the same. You got Flanagan's Barbers, they help me out each month, you know, can't thank them enough for their help. And like to thank CCM, accountants company, you know, they're helping me out. Just recently got me some new gloves, what I've been sparring Paul Butler with, so can't thank them enough as well.
Lee?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Just take his t-shirt off. Thanks to the usual.
I need to give more thanks to the support they give me is massive help. First, Village Hotel, I work for them.
Yeah, I'd like to thank them as well because they've done really good for me as well.
They always
give me the rooms and the top rooms. Yeah. So anyone who wants to come and fight on my shows, proper on your way fights, can come. You get looked after. Lee Clayton gets you the penthouse suite in the village, jacuzzi, gym, everything. You know,
for the price of a 10.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then I've got strength and conditioning coach Danny Potter, can't thank him enough. Got the milk bar, they supply me with all my meals, get me ready on the weight, ready for fight night. Got Westbourne civil engineering, again, help me pay towards my medical, etc. Hang on.
He's got that many, he's forgotten.
Mate, I'll just show you my t-shirt.
Yeah, go on, get your top off, bro.
There we go.
Look, he's got them all there. Get them all. Come on, son.
Yeah, so like I said, Westbourne got AJ Garden Services. Now, that's actually my fiance's dad, but he helps me out, pay towards me medicals and all sorts. Pound for pound boxing, supply me with me boxing equipment, give me the gloves.
Stephen will help sort out all the lads, they always sort them out, some cheap gloves and that, so can't thank them enough, thanks boys.
And then Mac Estate, she sorts me out with all my Botox and whatnot.
Yes! Told you. He's not lying.
Not really, yeah, well I'm 28, you've got to keep looking young, haven't you? They again help me out, pay for all my medicals, etc. So I literally can't thank them all enough. The support they give me is amazing. So
brilliant. You know what, guys? It's been an absolute pleasure to sit with you all today, talk to you all about your fights.
Song?
If you want to finish with a song, by all means, go for it.
I'm not joining him.
You're not joining in? He's not joining in?
It's a solo. I heard.
Amazing. Only joking.
Brilliant. Cheers, Kieran.
Go on, Sean.